Going to go to Israel in about a week instead of, like, it took a year to go from Britain to the United States. It probably took 10 years for the Turkish Empire to go from, was that the world power? Who was the world power before Britain? It took Britain about 10 years to take it over in World War I. And there was the Balfour Declaration that then the British promised the Jews the Holy Land, and the British went and invaded Palestine, and now this is the result of it, I guess. They invaded Palestine for the Zionists, because they made a deal with the Zionists to pull us into World War I, and then... So when everything happens with Israel, when Israel takes the power from the USA and the trial of the Dajjal starts, it's going to be a lot faster than... It's getting faster each time. The shift of power, they know what they're getting ready. They have their protocols ready, right? I don't know. It's scary.
Oh heavens! They got plans for centuries.
They got the Yeah, it goes back to the Talmud in Babylon, and probably earlier, but for sure the Talmud in Babylon. When King Nebuchadnezzar took him captive into Babylon, they wrote the Satanic Talmud.
We don't stop sacrificing babies as a nation.
Well, the Talmud tells them to do that.
That's what they're still doing.
It's the Satanic Talmud.
You know, so
yeah, it tells them to do a lot of terrible things to children.
Babies to fail. And people just don't care about life.
Well, it's a book about oppressing non-Jews. They're the goyim, the pig slaves for slaughter and repression. That's what our purpose is to the Zionists.
Basically,
we were bred for repression and slaughter because we're the goyim. that's the Talmud. The Satanic Talmud looks at us all as they can do whatever they want with us.
Actually,
it's pretty despicable.
It is not that so much as it is the war on the saints.
The war on the saints.
Hold on, let me finish the thought.
Okay.
People who are the real thing are the ones they're going to get rid of because they won't bow down to being totally against God, which means we have to do it the mechanical, scientific way, logical way, and not go by God's rules at all as our rules. You know, everybody share the way we tell you to. No, if you share the way God tells you to, everybody gets taken care of. Supposed to.
Yeah, if you can find God these days, that you really are one of the Latter-day Saints, huh?
Well, you have to find God in every moment.
That makes you a Latter-day Saint. I think that makes you a real Latter-day Saint, then.
If I don't have that relationship, I'm not going to go anywhere but down.
Yeah, those are the two directions you can go, up or down.
Right. And
you actually get a look down at hell right when you go into your grave. If you lived a sinful life, your torments start right away in the life of the grave, and you get a look down at hell even from the grave, and then your grave shrinks and squeezes you, and it goes on until the day of resurrection. It's the torments of the grave.
Okay, well...
and here's the other scary thing about the torments of the grave is the animals can hear it, but man and jinn cannot hear the torment, a man screaming in the grave. And if a man were to hear the torments of the grave, like a man screaming in his grave, he would either faint, or sometimes it says he would die from hearing it. Like, that's how bad the...
Well, I don't want to talk about that.
I know that. Well, a Jewess in Medina is who scared the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, into seeking refuge in Allah from the torments of the grave, because and that inspiration came to him through a Jewess. He overheard a Jewess mentioning it, that the dead would be tormented in the grave for their sins or something, and then Muhammad, ever since then he had a prayer that he would add to I seek refuge from Allah from the torments of the grave. And that's the very reason, is because he overheard a Jewess in Medina saying it. So inspiration came to him in many ways and became revelations, and that was the way that one came to him. So.
It comes in many ways. Direct revelation is really the best. It's like, oh, wow, wait a minute. You know, most Christians think that what it means to witness